I'm so glad you could join me today for a super special story time. I'm so happy you're here today. It's always more fun when we can learn and imagine together, don't you think? I've got a super cool story to share about a kid just like you who did something amazing. This story is full of surprises, courage, and a little bit of magic that comes from believing in yourself and trusting in something bigger. Are you ready? Let's go. Get comfy, open your ears wide, and let your imagination soar. So once upon a time, there was a boy named David. He wasn't famous or super strong, but he had a heart full of hope. David wasn't a warrior. Nope, he was a shepherd. That means he spent his days out in the fields, watching over his family's sheep. That means he took care of sheep, kept them safe, and sometimes sang songs to them at night. He learned to be gentle and brave, even when wild animals came near. He didn't have a sword or armor or even a big shield. He didn't look like a hero at all. Just a sling and a really big heart. David's courage didn't come from what he had, but from what he believed. But one day, something scary happened. Something that made even the bravest people shake in their boots. There was a giant named Goliath. He was the biggest, loudest, and scariest giant anyone had ever seen. Goliath was huge, taller than a house and stronger than anyone in the whole army. He wore heavy armor and carried a giant spear. He shouted, "Who will fight me?" His voice boomed across the valley, making everyone's knees knock together. But all the soldiers were afraid. They hid behind rocks and trees. No one wanted to be the one to face the giant. No one wanted to face the giant. They whispered to each other, hoping someone else would step forward. But guess what? David wasn't scared. Even though he was small, his faith was huge. He said, "I'll fight the giant. God is with me." The soldiers laughed. They couldn't believe their ears. They said, "You're just a kid. You're too small." How could someone so little stand up to someone so big? But David knew something special. He remembered all the times he had protected his sheep from lions and bears, and how God had helped him then. He knew that with God on his side, anything was possible. Even the biggest problems could be solved with faith and courage. So David picked up 5 smooth stones by the river. He chose them carefully, feeling their weight in his hand. He walked right up to Goliath. Everyone watched, holding their breath as the little shepherd boy faced the giant. Goliath laughed and said, "Is this a joke?" He thought David was too small to matter. But David put a stone in his sling. He remembered that God was with him, and that gave him all the strength he needed. Spun it around, and whoosh! The sound echoed as everyone watched in amazement. The stone flew through the air and hit Goliath right on the forehead. It was a perfect shot, guided by faith and bravery. The giant wobbled, and then, bam! Everyone gasped as the mighty Goliath began to fall. He crashed to the ground like a fallen tree. David did it. The whole crowd cheered, amazed at what one brave kid could do. Not because he was big or strong, but because he trusted God. David's faith made him a true hero. That's the big lesson, right? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is believe. You don't have to be the tallest or the fastest. You don't need fancy armor or special tools. When you trust God, He will help you be brave, even when things seem scary. Even if you feel small, your faith can make a big difference. So if you ever feel small or nervous, remember, with God, all things are possible. You can face your own giants, whatever they may be. Just like David, you can be brave and do great things. Your courage and kindness can inspire others too. Thanks for listening, awesome friends. I hope you remember this story whenever you need a little extra courage. Keep trusting God and keep being you. You are already amazing, just the way you are. See you next time. Bye.